everyone, Mark here from Moto Solo Diaries, and this is my brand new channel. Something completely different in my life right now. Adventure motorcycling. I wonder how that all came about. Well, last year, 2020, when I got involved with doing work in Uganda, we created the Human Initiative Program. The idea of one day going there and riding a motorcycle across part of Africa was very, very exciting to me. But there was only one problem: I had never ridden a motorcycle before. So October, I got the idea that I better get a motorcycle license, and try to figure out how this all works. So October, bought a wonderful used motorcycle, a BMW GSF800. At the time, I had no idea about motorcycles. I really still don't know a lot about motorcycles. And that's why I wanted to start this channel, because it's going to be, I guess you could say, a journey. And the reason I wanted to call it Moto Solo Diaries is because I'm going to be traveling on my own when I do my little excursions. And diaries, well, I wanted to kind of create every video I do a story. I've met some wonderful people in my life, and I want to introduce them into this as we go along, but I also want to just go out and discover and have an adventure, do these little outings and whatnot. So here we go. I was going to say fasten your seatbelts, but there's no seatbelts on a motorcycle. Just hold on. So I'm enjoying this lovely cup of coffee that I've made. I want to give a shout out to Dark City Coffee. That's what I'm drinking. Wonderful. So the reason I'm out here today is just to really try out some gear. I packed up the bike. I put some stuff on it. I've put a tent. I brought my sleeping bag just to give it a test. I just wanted to go through some of the motions and see if I'd forget anything. And you know, the first thing that I noticed I had forgotten when I was making this cup of coffee was I forgot the pour over filter. And I haven't come far from home, but I had to improvise. Well, luckily enough, when I packed this part, I had used some paper towels. So paper towels worked great as my filter when I did my pour over coffee, and I have a wonderful cup of coffee. So the first thing I've learned on the test setup is how to improvise with gear. This whole YouTube channel is basically going to be about my experiences, because I'm new to this adventure motorcycling. I'm going to talk about gear. I've just basically started off with a bunch of stuff that I spent a lot of time reviewing on Amazon, on YouTube, and so I got it all, and I'm going to try it all out. I feel I've done a very good job, but as we go, I'm going to share some of that information with you. I hope that other people that are getting into this will benefit from this. Trials and tribulations, things I come across. I know it's a lovely sunny day here, but I know as much as I try, I'm going to come across rain. I'm sure there's going to be times when I wish I was back in my warm, dry bed, but that's what adventure is all about. So I've got some great adventures already planned. They're going to be short and sweet ones to start, but they're going to be interesting. I have some places I've been invited to see. I'm going to be using my video and photographic equipment so I can capture hopefully some great footage for you guys. And it's going to be a little bit of fun. It's going to be adventure and experience. Why did I get an adventure motorcycle? Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I started looking for motorcycles after I watched The Long Way Around with Ewan McGregor and his buddy Charles Boorman. They did this adventure around pretty much part of the globe, and they were riding adventure bikes, and they were doing some camping and whatnot, and I just thought, this has got to be something I have to experience in my lifetime. I mean, I've done some wonderful things in my lifetime, but the thing is, why stop? Why stop discovering things? We got to keep going. We're only here once, and I'm still young enough to be able to climb on a motorcycle and rough it, do some camping, get some experiences. People ask me, you know, you do so much, you've got so much energy. I don't know if it's energy so much, it's just, I just realized the importance of discovering things and living your life, getting experience. When I first started my challenge to become an Ironman, I started off, I couldn't even keep my head in the water while I was swimming. I had no idea how to do it. I had to discover that. And that took me months. When I finally did the Ironman competition, I have to say it was probably one of the greatest days of my life. The experience was incredible. So, you know, all the running and the sweating and the 3-hour bike rides and the hours in the pool is what all led to one of the greatest experiences in my life. So you have to put yourself out. You have to put up with a little bad weather sometimes to get the sunshine. So this is basically how it's gonna go. That's so good. Even if you have to use a paper towel as a filter, still tastes damn good. So first lesson, double check everything. I tell ya, the first bike ride I ever went on, the first thing I did was, the bike came with a GPS, and the GPS failed on the first ride. I was out for a 400-kilometer bike ride, and I had done a pre-programmed map on Kalimoto and downloaded it onto the GPS. And I guess the GPS is 12 years old, and when I stopped for coffee halfway, the GPS froze, and I had to use my phone to get back home because I had made this pretty extravagant route. And I ended up having to stop and get a phone charger because the phone didn't have enough battery to continue with the maps. I mean, I could have drove straight home, but the whole idea was avoiding highways and going on the back roads. So I ended up getting a cheap USB cable to plug in my phone. So yeah, I was able to get away with that. But again, it's you got to be prepared. I mean, some things you might do without, but some things you do need. And yeah, I think the first few videos are all going to be about discovering what I forgot to take on my trip.